YouTube, what's going on? This is Kevin the Tech Ninja, and this is the LG V10, which I actually deemed the Frankenstein of phones. You know, most phones have two cameras. Well, this one has three. Most phones have one screen. Well, this one has two. Beyond all this hardware, is this a good phone? Well, let's find out in my full review. This is the LG V10. This is LG's second flagship phone of this year, and this was also coined the name of the LG G4 Pro. And I hate pros, so I'm glad this is given a different name. On paper, the V10 is one heck of a phone, but as I do with all paper, I throw it out the window, and I actually use the phone. LG always brings some amazing hardware to the table. Aesthetically, the V10 looks great. It's built from rubber, glass, and plastic. It's an interesting combination, but it works. The screen is slightly curved at the edge, so it fits nicely in the hand, and the bezels are turned a bit, giving you that screen-to-screen illusion. The plastic that the logo rests on is flat black, which just blends into the rest of the phone. On the back side, we find the rubber backing, and that back rubber is one of those love it or hate it type of scenarios, but I love it. It has this really unique design on the back and is partitioned off into 8 different grids. The V10 logo is sitting in the bottom right grid. On the back you have your volume rockers, your camera, your flash, your laser autofocus, and also you have a power button / fingerprint scanner. This is one of the most unique looking phones, but one of the best designed in my opinion. LG gives you multiple ways to get into the phone. You can use Tap Knock, which is a code you tap into the phone. There's 4 quadrants that you can use when setting this up, and you can also do this when the screen is off. And that fingerprint scanner that I mentioned is on the power button. Just give it a press and you're in. Not as fast as some phones I've reviewed, but not slow enough to be annoying. But what is annoying is setting this thing up. I mean, it's so sensitive and wonky when setting it up. It took maybe 5 minutes of moving my finger around to get it to register. But once it was registered, it worked without any issues. The software is pretty much same as the G4, which I covered a lot and featured on that review. And you can access that review by using the card above or the description below. But to give you an idea, as of today on T-Mobile, it's running Android 5.1.1, but it's heavily modified with LG's interface. Hate it or love it, it's a relatively quick OS, allowing you to get to what you need to quickly. I may sound like a broken record by saying this, I don't really like skins. I'd rather have stock Android, or at least an option for it. Regardless, there are a few features that I really do like. First, I really enjoy dual window, allowing you to be in 2 applications at once. Makes it handy for watching a YouTube video and chatting on Hangouts or going through my Twitter timeline. It doesn't work for all apps, but most of the default Android apps or LG apps it works with. There's also Quickmemo Plus, which LG makes it very apparent that they want you to use it by placing it in multiple places. You can basically use this like Samsung's Note series by taking screenshots and moving text around and cropping images just without a stylus. On to the camera. This is where the LG V10 really shines. It gives you arguably the best camera that you'll find that is not on a DSLR. Yes, even in some situations it's better than my $1,000 Sony RX100. And I hate to say that, but it's a really good camera. But just using the camera in auto mode does not justify it. You need to dig into manual to see how great it truly is. Example, at my church, I took this photo in auto and it looks really bad, but I went to manual mode and made the proper adjustments and it ended up with an amazing photo. You don't need to be in manual, as of 90% of people usually won't go into manual, but if you're buying this for the camera, do yourself a favor and learn manual mode. This goes for video. You have manual video mode too, and you also have some amazing features like frames per second change and also in which direction the microphone works from. The video does have one major potential problem, and my buddy OT4Tech Jonathan actually found this out. Even with image stabilization turned off, it does have sort of this jelloing effect if you move the camera back and forth really fast. I was able to test and duplicate the problem, but using my camera normally I didn't run into it, but he ran into it when he had it on a slider. It may not be a big issue for most people, but it's something I did want to mention for everyone else. Oh yeah, there's also 3 cameras. So for the front facing camera, there's a wide mode and a normal mode. So if you want a Wi-Fi, that's what it's called, right? I mean, I'm too old to learn new words, but when you do a selfie with multiple people, it will work best in that situation. And picture quality is great. It's a bit too smoothing on the skin even with beauty face turned off, but it still looks pretty good. The screen looks great. LG makes a wonderful screen. Now unfortunately I can't test it in full sunlight because it's winter in Michigan and I don't know when I'll see the sun again, but the LG G4 screen was amazing and it looks just as good. It gets super bright and the colors are extremely poppy. There's also a second screen too. You can go into settings to configure it, but you could do things like add quick apps, recent apps, calendar, media player controllers, and a few more small things. It's nothing amazing or game changing, and it's nothing that I found myself using a lot, but it's still there and it's pretty cool. The speaker grill is on the bottom and it seems a bit quiet for my liking. When gaming or watching video, your hand covers the speaker, which makes the experience pretty poor. Front-facing speakers are becoming a requirement for me to really enjoy the phone. It sounds pretty crisp, but it's just in a bad location. Now, battery life is one of those subjective things where everyone likes to argue and tell you that your screen on time isn't good enough, but for me, it lasted throughout my whole day, no matter how much I used it. And during my normal usage, that's good. If I didn't use it a lot, I had enough juice to get me through the next day. But for some reason, my battery drain was a bit high when I was idle. But when using the device, battery drain felt pretty nice. But your miles may vary when it comes to battery life. The phone overall is fast and is just a blast to use. With hardware like this, you're gonna have one of the best performing Android devices out there. The camera is amazing, the screen is fantastic, and the build quality is great too. I do recommend using the software a bit at a store or something first, see if you can really deal with it and you're okay with it. I'm not a fan, but I won't let that deter me from saying that this is one of the best phones of 2015, and I have no problem recommending this phone to anybody. And there you have it, guys. That was my full review of the LG V10. If you want to see camera samples or video samples, hit the link down below to check those out. I posted them on my Google Drive. As always, guys, have yourself a great day, and I'll talk to you guys later. I've now been sick for 1 week. Lord help me. Take care, guys. Peace.